Hi guys, I'm back here with chapter 5 of fan fiction. I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button and leave in the comments below if you want more. So, Robert, chapter 5. I came back from San Juan yesterday. We had to leave quickly. On Half-Blood Hill, we left camp alone, except for the troops that lined the hill saluting them. As my last order as praetor before I leave, I force Paige and Ryan to be the two new praetors. Listen to them and follow their directions. Av Romani. Robert ordered as he and Shade departed with 24 other girls, all silver-clad, with silver parkers and silver-tipped arrows. They looked like a silver museum, the camp thought. My first night with the hunters was inexplicably horrible. I kept tossing and turning in my tent, while off to my right and left, my fellow hunters were sleeping soundly. I thought, had they been through this before? When I woke, I saw a mirror in my right hand, so I lifted it up to my face, and do you know what I saw? I saw my reflection. But not necessarily my reflection, staring back at me. This one had silky black hair flowing down in streams to a centimeter below my shoulders, and my face looked more girl-like, and I had a lean body just right for gymnastics. Then it hit me why I was so uncomfortable last night. I must have reminded Artemis too much of men. I wonder if all of these girls were men. So she changed me into a girl over the night without me knowing. I was so enraged, but in that moment, I thought who I was, but I like who I am now better. Andrew tried to say help, but the dark hands clamped his mouth tightly shut. He was put into a crate and into a box that held his cage. Where am I going? He thought to himself. A split second later, his question was answered, as the box he was in had neat letters printed on the top. Gales Ferry School, Connecticut. Oh no, he thought. Amara. As she walked through the land of the dead, she came upon Elysium, where the guards were taking her. Then they made a sharp turn to the left, and she was forced to follow them. Then she knew what was happening. They were taking her to the fields of punishment. As you remember from chapter 2, Amara was one of the Egyptians, and she was killed by Shade, or a.k.a. Emma, who ripped out her heart and cooked it. Robert, or for now on, Ashley. Hold your fire, Shade said, but Naomi fired blindly, and she was unable to defend when one of Lycon's wolves pounced on her. But as fast as lightning, Ashley jumped over the wolf, raked her hunting knives across the body, and shot an arrow point blank into the back of the wolf on Naomi. Good shot, she grunted, with pain clearly visible in her chest. Thanks, but we're all here for a reason. Then everything went crazy. Wolves materialized out of nowhere, but the hunters grabbed their knives and stabbed them through the gut. Ashley was the only hunter able to scurry up the trees with a wound. Shade covered the hunters' retreat by shooting down wolves left and right, but more kept coming. The tide changed in a single second when Artemis appeared, and she was up in the trees shooting down the wolves. Get in the trees, she commanded to the other hunters. Normally, Artemis would have been following orders from Shade, but unfortunately, Shade was too busy at the moment. That night at camp, Shade was lying in bed with bandages all over her back from a wolf that came from behind and was being tended by Phoebe, her sister. Well, everybody here was technically her sister, and she was starting to get confused of which hunter was which. Then Ashley came in and sat down next to Shade, and Shade had one of those doubling back moments and thought this pretty young woman used to be Robert, who wore tattered clothes to bed. Then she spoke in she was getting very confused, voice that had overcome a huge change. How are you feeling, sister? We need to get a move on, or move as fast as possible. Your scouts just reported not one but 2 manticores coming from the east. You know personally what a manticore does. She did, in fact. She fought one with Robert on the San Francisco Bridge only 1 year ago. Shade sat up at these words. 2 manticores? She questioned. Then she ran out of the command tent like a gazelle. Hunters, move out. 2 manticores have been spotted. Andrew. They lifted the box off the truck, and all of a sudden he heard yelps of surprise as the box came off, and the teacher revealed him. His surroundings were bookshelves and desks piled high with books. And the teacher, his name was Mr. Conklin, put some lettuce into the cage and said, quiet down, we have work to do." And with that, Andrew fell into a night full of nightmares. "Ashley, run and get to the hill a mile ahead, then we will turn and fire down onto the manticores from above." And with that, Ashley and Shade disappeared into the woods. Whoosh! The missile hit Ashley in the shoulder as she protected her commander. She shouted, "Run" again, but the manticores had deadly aim. And she put on a burst of speed, and Shade and Ashley ran into the clearing where the other hunters were poised to shoot. "Fire, Shade!" yelled, half dragging, half carrying Ashley on her back. "Phoebe, I need you." A split second later, Phoebe was there pouring nectar over the wound. Don't die with me," Shade kept whispering under her breath. Ashley gave her a lopsided grin. "Wasn't the worst wound I've had. It's just manticore spikes are poisoned. Not enough to kill though, only to make it more painful." Then Phoebe responded, "You'll live, but you'll have to rest for a day or two." Ashley laughed. "Now it's my turn to get hurt. You saved me from a spike that would have killed me. That's the best thing you've done to me," Shade said warmly, as if greeting her for the very first time. "Though, you didn't have to do that. I had a perfect shot on the manticore. None of us could have gotten hurt. I had a heart shot ready and locked in my bow. Plus, it's silver. I could kill him in 2 minutes." "Way to ruin the mood. I wish Ian were here. He would lighten the tension in this room. Plus, he would be able to make this tent warmer than 50 degrees. So that, my friends, was chapter 5. I know it was a long one, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.